All right, I'm sitting on space station here. This is simply just a flat platform that is over the planet in such a way that the gravity pulls us down. And this is a pretty large one. It's got a lot of fighters, different ships on it. That one behind me has lasers and rail guns. Uh, Several other fighters over on the other large platform over there, and one or two down there on the end. This is one of the platforms that Chimera used. We had a lot of fun. We weren't primarily a PvP organization, but we went out and had fun doing PvP occasionally, just for the heck of it. So I'm getting ready to go to Asteroid location. So I'm gonna hit G to take off. It's going to take a while to get there, so I'm going to cut out the middle part so you guys don't have to sit here while I travel. Notice I am going to fall towards the platform if I sit here, but I'm going to turn my engines on and try to get going here. See if I can avoid hitting this ship. There we go. Alright. And now that I'm away from the platform, goodbye space station. I'm gonna hit. I already got on the right over there my ASTR, my asteroid, selected. And I'm gonna hit Alt 4, and it should autopilot me to the asteroid. Correcting from my drift right now, and it should settle down onto the target location and speed me up till I get there. Unfortunately, this is a bigger ship, so I don't think it's going to go that fast. It probably won't go more than 30,000 kilometers per hour. We'll see. I was making videos yesterday and realized that did not have my microphone in front of me, and so that's why there's a little gap in me taking off from Alioth and getting up to that space station. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out to the asteroid. I'm going to show you how you land on an asteroid, pretty much how you land on a space station or anything in space, a moon. You have to be careful when you travel to moons and stuff, because you can plow right into it, and of course then your ship gets destroyed and you're in trouble. I do need to stop for a second, because I need to go downstairs. And the reason I need to go downstairs is because I have not set up my res node. Where is my res node? I don't remember. Got to find it. There's my anti-gravity device. There's my res node. And there should be, somewhere up here, there should be a lifeboat, but I don't see it. It must have been taken out. So we're going to have to go without that. And now we'll get back on track here. Alright folks, we're back. I'm about 5 SU out from the asteroid we're headed toward, and I wanted to talk about a few things before we got there. Our braking distance, if we look over on the right here, should be 1.85 SU. So at a little over 1.85 SU out from the asteroid, that should automatically start braking. If it doesn't, I'll need to do that, and maybe point off to the side and ramp up the engine so we don't hit it. What I want to talk about is some of the talents that I trained up. One of the things I want to point out is that by turning on my two-factor authentication I got an extra 1,000,000 talent points, which I used some of those today. And I also got some extra quanta. I believe it was 500,000. So if you turn on two-factor authentication for your account, and when you come into the game on launch day, instead of 200,000, you should have about 700,000, or at least 500. And then you should also have an extra 1,000,000 talent points to distribute. So that was very interesting. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I just turned this on and noticed those were there. So, and they weren't there before. So, good stuff. And what I did is I went to Miner, because we're going to go to an asteroid and we have to mine things the old-fashioned way. So you notice I upgraded some of this stuff to be able to mine better. Mining on an asteroid is like the old school mining used to be in this game on the planets. For some of you, you might remember that. For some of you, maybe not. I'm going to kind of take a look here. I'm getting close to that 1.8 SU. If my brakes don't come on, I'm going to need to hit them myself. Oh, they did come on. Okay, right on time too. Okay, so the autopilot seems to be working okay. Probably not going to smash into the asteroid and die. Notice I only got up to like 23-ish thousand kilometers per hour. The bigger your ship is, the slower it's going to go. That's unfortunate. We used to take those big ships between planets, and hauling back ore now is going to be a little harder. So what we're probably going to have to do is figure out, okay, what is the biggest ship I can make and capacity of ore or whatever that I can, volume, weight, whatever, that I can put in it and still travel at 49,999 kilometers per hour. So we'll probably have to take a look at that and figure out what ship that is and build it, because I'd rather make 2 trips faster than make 1 trip at half speed or less than half speed. So that's just me though. Some people might want to do the big ship and just not worry about it, watch YouTube videos while they're traveling back. So, but another thing about that is if you're on a small ship, your fighters can still intercept you and track you down, because they're going to make them small enough to go 4999999 kilometers an hour too. But if you put a couple of guns on the back and you can shoot back at them, that's going to somewhat deter them. But if you run one of the slower ships, they definitely will catch you. There's no way you can get away from them. So there's a slight chance you can get away from them in a faster ship. So so I'm already at the space station, or I'm already at the coordinates. So let's go ahead and head the other 62 kilometers into the asteroid here. When you're working on an asteroid, again, you're working in no gravity. So it's a little different situation. I do have my sound turned way down so that the engine noises don't interfere here. I may turn it back up when we get on the asteroid just so you can hear the effects when we're mining. That remains to be seen if I'll remember or not. So I don't want to go too fast here. Probably going to go about 2,000 kilometers per hour, because I can slow down pretty darn fast. That should do me. Well, we can't even see the asteroid yet. It's just going to be a big rock. But, you know, that's what you'd expect an asteroid to be. Sorry if I'm pausing there. I'm actually drinking coffee because it's early in the morning where I am. So there's Alioth and Haven and all those back behind us there. Quite a ways. 50 SU out. And we decided that each SU was 200 kilometers. Right, so 53, I think it was, 53, 54 times 200 kilometers. That's our distance that we are away. Not going to do public math for you guys. But it took us a little while to get here. And again, while we were on the way, I just watched YouTube videos. Alright, so you can see the asteroids coming to our visual range here. I'm going to go ahead and slow us down quite a bit. I'm going to keep going towards it here though. Kind of off at a tangent away from it, which is good. I won't hit it. I'm going to wait until I get a little closer, and then we'll settle in right next to it. We actually want to land on it. Now this is an asteroid that someone else found, so all the ore on it may be mined out, but we'll see. We want to take a look at it. This is also in the safe zone. If you look at the top right up here, it says we're still in the safe zone. You get a warning before you travel into the PvP zone, and you should get some kind of indication that you're coming up on the edge or the boundary. If you look right here, it says the PvP boundary is 65.9 SU away. So we still got a while to go before. Oh, wait a minute. What happened? Oh, there we go. I lost my orientation. Alright, so we're only a couple of kilometers away from this asteroid. We're going to land on it, and we're going to pretend that we need this ore, and we're going to mine some. We don't really need it right now, but I want to show you guys how to do this. This may be the only way for you to collect some of the types of ore, because surface mining will only get you so much. You can't get usually you can't get tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, or okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my ship where I'm facing down against the planet like that, or not the planet, the asteroid, and I'm gonna hit C. C will move me down towards it slowly. C's to go down, so we're moving at a small pace here. It's got a very, very, very light gravity. If I get going too fast, more than 60 kilometers an hour or so, I will go ahead and tap the brake real quick on and off. Go ahead and tap the brake real quick. Alright, so now I'll slow this down. I can actually land faster than 60. Okay, so we're down. So I'm going to hit F, and we're going to get out. Alright, so one of the things I want to show you is that, oh, hold on, we got to get back to the ship. You can actually take off from this planet if you're not careful. And let's hit J. No, that's not going to work. Okay, so when you get up into space, if you happen to jump off the asteroid, you have to use your left control for a brake and then point back down to it and then push towards it to get your jetpack to put you back down. So you can actually take off from the asteroid and not be able to get back to it if you're not real careful. You can technically get in your suit and go all the way back to Alioth if somebody destroys your ship and you're out of it, because they can't hurt you if you're not in the ship. I've done that before. I've had a load of tier 5 ore and jetted all the way back to Alioth. That's a long trip to get up to that speed with your jetpack. What we're going to do is we're going to go down to the container. Alright, so X is your jetpack. Just turned it off and on. Accidentally, of course. Trying to get down here. Oh, there we go. Alright, so we worked on our container range, and this is why we need to connect to our container and make it our primary so that we can put all of our stuff inside this container. Alright, so we're going to put all of our ore in here. Actually, let's connect to this one. And the reason why I want to connect to this one is this one has less stuff in it, so it'll be easy to see the ore as it goes in. Alright, so we'll go out here. Now if I wanted to hit X and use my jetpack, I could do that. And we could literally go off into space and do whatever. I'm going to turn the jetpack off actually. And I'm going to turn it back on and go back down, because Alright, so what do we need to do here? Well, we need to be able to mine. So let's look for our mining tools that we need here. Where is our mine tool? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put this one in our number 2 slot. Actually, yeah, we'll put that in our number 2 slot. Where's our scanner tool? Oh, we need this directional indicator. We need that. We need our scanner. And I'll show you how all that works. And I did train up the talents using some of my talent points. Oh, I already got the mine tool. It's already right there on 2. We don't need a harvest tool because there's nothing to harvest on the surface. Okay, so we'll use the scanner. When we get close, we'll use the directional detector. And then we'll use the mine tool once we find the ore. Alright, so I'm going to go to 8, which is my scanner. And it says there's pyrite, quartz, and chromite near me. Alright, so how do I find it? Well, I have to go in a direction. So let's pick a direction. Let's just go... we'll just go 150. And if you take a look, you'll see we're getting closer to the pyrite and the quartz and further from the chromite. That's good. Let's go towards the pyrite. Oh, now we're moving towards all 3. Alright, so now we're pretty darn close. Once it gets down there below 50, we can use our directional finder, which is 7. And I need to turn the sound up for this so that you can hear it. And what we want to do is, oh, there we go. You want to point around until you get an indication that it's there, right? So we know it's that direction, right down below us. So we're going to go to 2, well, that's not going to work. That's our mining tool. We need our dig tool. Let's see. Well, I haven't used this in a long time. There's the mine tool, the maneuver tool, the harvest tool, flatten tool. Flatten tool is going to come in handy too. We use that sometime. Let's see here. Deploy construct. So I'm holding the mining tool and we're digging down. Now what I want to do is get my detector back out and just make sure, yeah, I'm still pointing towards it. And hold my button here. As you train this up, you make a bigger and bigger tunnel. I feel claustrophobic now with this small tunnel. Alright, every once in a while you want to make sure I'm still headed towards the target here. Alright. So we're going to keep going down until we get to it. Okay, it's not to the sides of us. Oh, there is one this way. I don't know how far. Alright, I've got it in auto mode now, and I'm just going to go this direction. I'm going to go see how far we are from our target here. I can't get through there. Now here's where the flatten tool comes in handy, 6. Let's go to our detector. Nothing that way, nothing up, nothing there. But when you point in this direction, there is. So it's actually down. We're going to have to dig some more. Okay, I want to show you something here in the inventory. If you select this, it will actually keep the non-precious ore, like this dirt that I'm digging. Alright, I'm gonna stop. Look at our inventory. It's actually keeping the crater soil, right? So what can I do with that? I'll show you later on what you can do with that. I'll dig up a little bit more. And then I'm gonna quit collecting that because I don't want to fill up my inventory with crater soil. Let's go back to our scanner. Okay, so I'm not quite on track. It's now more this way. We're getting close. Wait, what's that? Oh, that's just nothing. So 6, 7, sorry. So it's not up, not down. It is a little bit to the right. It's not left. Alright, so let's go this way. There's a little bit of a science to this. Sometimes you have to go up, sometimes you have to go down, sometimes you have to go lateral, and sometimes you gotta go at an angle. And, just depends, right? I'm feeling claustrophobic. I need a bigger tunnel. Alright. Just look around here. I'm using the directional, the 7. The scanner would just tell me that, hey, I'm close to quartz. Okay. Oh, there we go. Alright, so now we found quartz. So now I'm digging quartz. So I'll hit 2. And what I have to do is let the circle expand and then left click. I'll take it off auto mode and just press and hold the button here. So what I want to do is I'm going to point at it, press the left mouse button, see the circle expand, and then let go. Boom, it takes that whole section. Right? When I turn the auto mode on, it expands for me automatically, and all I got to do is click. And let it expand, click. And let it expand, click. And let it expand, click. Let it expand. Doing that. That's how you mine underground on an asteroid. Alright, so now we've got that whole quartz ore, except for this little piece right here. So now if we turn on our indicator and we move around some, actually the quartz should go away unless there's a little piece stuck somewhere. There might be some right there. Oh, that was just a ghost. Alright. You actually have to move around some to get this thing to figure out what's what. So let's go ahead and go back to our it'll reset and the quartz will go away because I mined it all up. If I move around enough, I just haven't done it. So we also have chromite within a certain distance. Now, on a real asteroid, would I have mined quartz? No. I can get tier 1 ore anywhere. I'm not going to mine tier 1 ore. I was just showing you how to do this. Alright. So now let's find the quartz. So it's not pointing that direction. Let's just kind of look around here and see what we can find. I kind of usually take a reference and just move around in a circle. Oh, look at that. Sometimes you got to go up and down. Alright, so it's going to be this direction. And while I'm in the detector mode, I can still dig. So I'm going to leave my detector on and dig. I know I've been switching back and forth. It doesn't dig as big a hole when you're in this detector mode, but that's fine. Going here. Notice that we're far underground. Alright, let's just kind of get our bearings. Okay, so the ore seam starts right around there. It's in that direction. And then it should taper off at some point. Alright, so the middle of it, so let's look left and right. Okay, tapers off. Tapers off, so let's go right around this direction. Seems to be the center point of our scan. There we go. So there's the chromite. Go back to the mine tool. Okay, I put it in auto mode so it expanded. All I gotta do is left click it now. Boom. The higher tier ore that you go to, the longer it's gonna take to mine. When you're mining tier 5, it's like, oh my gosh, this is slow. But that's good stuff. You want to get that. You want to get that tier 5, tier 4, tier 3. All right, so we got chromite. What's important about chromite? Well, this is what I use to make my territory units. This is one of the required ores. And it's also the one I use to make the scanner so that I can scan for ore. And so I need both of those in order to scan for a territory that has ore and get the territory that has ore, right? Alright, so now, if I was scanning into if I was mining into my nanopack would be full. But since I have my container range, let's look at P. Since I have my container range set at 750 meters and I'm within 750 meters of my ship, I'm able to put this stuff directly into the container, right? So if I were to put this in my nanopack, we'd already be pretty much full, right? And I'd have to go back to the ship, unload it, but I don't have to do that as long as I'm in container range. And here's the trick. You can go outside of your container range, outside of your ship range, mine, and you don't have to go all the way back to the ship. You just got to get within 750 meters from it, and it'll reconnect you. All right, so we've mined some chromite, we've mined some quartz. Let me finish getting this little selection of ore here, and we'll move on to the next ore. But this is how early on you might be able to go get some ore. Now, there's going to be a lot of people out here going after resources, so when they find an asteroid and you get there, it may be totally picked over, right? By the time it becomes public knowledge, it may be so picked over that there's nothing you can do to get any ore out of it. Also, there's a small matter of you have to build a DSAT in order to be able to find the ore. All right, I don't know if you thought about that or not, but if you can't build a DSAT, then you're kind of screwed. So we also have some pyrite. Pyrite is something that we need for warp cells, so that's important. So let's go to 6, and we'll look around. Just kind of, okay, nothing there, right? So I go up a little bit, and I do the same thing. Make a circle, go up a little more, make a circle. Alright, let's go down a little bit now and make a circle. Oh, there we go. Alright, so it's in this direction. Alright, so I'm going to hit the control button and scroll to try to make my wheel as big as possible. But it's not working. I'm not making it any bigger. Let's go to 2. If I hold control and scroll out, it actually makes it bigger, and I can make a much bigger tunnel. See that? Now I'm making a big tunnel. I'm actually out of range now. Let's go back to scan, directional scan here. Alright, so it's up a little bit now. We've gone too far down. We've got and we're getting closer and closer. What I like to do is I like to use the bigger on the pirate. See how slow it's expanding? Because that's the tier 3. And see it expanding? Much slower. The higher tier ore you get, the slower it's going to expand. Alright, so now we're into a big chunk of pyrite. That's good stuff. Put that in their ship. And again, you can't even find these asteroids unless you have a DSAT. So we'd have to look at what it takes to make a DSAT, right? So let's take a look at that real quick. Let's go to K. Let's not do that. Deep Space Asteroid Tracker, DSAT. Yeah, no, I have no active schematic. Oh, I'm on schematics. Sorry, I thought I hit. Let's see here. There we go. Alright, for the Deep Space Asteroid Tracker, I have to make these items, right? Extra large reinforced frame, so I'm going to need an extra large assembly, and I'm going to need an extra large assembly to actually make the DSAT, right? So I've got to have my medium assembly to make a large, my large assembly to make an extra large. So yeah, it's gonna take a while to get to the point where you can build a DSAT. I only need basic screws and, you know, just aluminum and iron to get this component. So that's not too bad. I need some glass product here. So that's just silicon. That's not too bad. So it looks like I'm not into anything that I can't make, right? I just need tier 1 ore so far. All that's tier 1 ore. We've already determined, and this is tier 1 ore. So I can do this with tier 1 ore. I can make a DSAT. So how early should that be a priority for me? Well, it just depends. If you want to go get higher tier ore out in the asteroids, and that's the way you want to do it, and that may be the right thing for you, because you're not probably going to find a planet where you can go on the surface and actually pick up things like pyrite and stuff like that. And I need this to build some other things, some other advanced industries, right? Warp cells and things like that certainly are going to have it. And warp cells are nowhere near the beginning of the game. It'll take a while to get to that point, I believe. But sure would be handy to have this ore on hand whenever you get to the point where you can make them, right? So, you know, and you can get tier 4 and tier 5 out here sometimes too. Now, if you go out into the PvP zone, to the rare and exotic, sometimes there's rare and exotic in the safe zone, and those get snapped up real quick, and there's not very much high tier ore on them, but there's some there. But if you can get on those, get on those. But if you go out in the PvP zone, there's going to be organizations like Legion that are all PvP based organizations, and all they do is wait for people to get out there. And what they'll do, they'll take a rare or exotic asteroid near Alioth, and they're going to go, somebody's going to want to go to this. And what they'll do is they'll take their own DSAT with their armed ships, and they'll go through stages 1 through 4, and on that last stage, that last waypoint you get before you go to the asteroid, they'll be sitting there waiting for you, right? Because it announces that you're looking for it or that you're going for it, so they know that, right? And they know which ones to target, and there's only going to be a few rare or exotic ones. So and I'm not saying it'll just be Legion, I'm just saying they're the PvP organization that comes to mind when I'm talking. But there's a lot of, Sneaky Snake is another one out there, but there's a lot of organizations out there that may try to hijack you and all of your stuff, and some of them will actually wait and let you get to the asteroid and do all the mining, and then they'll come hit you and take all your stuff after you've done the work. So that's a thing too. So not going to spend a lot of time, you know, mining is mining. You kind of get an idea of how to do it. You kind of get an idea of how to train the talents up to do this, right? Mining and inventory. If you're mining on an asteroid, you need miner and you need dredger, right? and you can't do some of the dredger stuff till you do the mining stuff. But when you get to dredger, you get extra ore extraction, you get better scanner ping speed, you get better scanning range, better detector efficiency, and optimized detector. So all of this stuff builds on the miner stuff, the dredger. So these are the two things that help you with the asteroids, the miner and the dredger. There may be more out there, and of course the inventory manager, like we talked about, having my distance set so that I have, well, where's my efficiency augmentation? Okay, having this one set. Right now we're at 750. Let's go ahead and use some points here. So I got some points left over. Let's train that talent up, and I'll show you that. We'll just train it a couple here. And now let's go hit P. And now my container range is not 750 kilometers, it's 1.25 kilometers, right? Because we brought it up another 500 kilometers. I'm sorry, 500 meters. I said kilometers. So now I can range even further from my ship. And we've got, hey, we've got 2.2 kiloliters of pyrite in there. We've got 1.7 kiloliter of chromite in there. And we can actually run around. Let's say I'm down here and I want to get out now. What do? Well, what I normally do is I find my ship. Let's go to constructs. And, oh, I can't find my ship because I don't have this vehicle selected as a construct. Because I'm borrowing it. Normally I'd find my construct, I'd right click on it, and I would mine up to the surface and I would find it. But we're going to have to do this the hard way. What I'm going to do is point straight up. And I'm going to hit my jump jet things here. I couldn't hit X and turn my jet on and just literally fly up. But what we're doing is we're just heading straight up. And now we're out. Turn that auto off. So now we have to find our ship. Okay, normally that would not be a problem because you could right click and set it as your destination. And stupid me, I did not do that. So I'm not able to do that because I don't have that ship as a selectable item. So what am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to run around here. Oh, there it is. Luckily it shows up as a construct, right? There's the hole where we went in. Or no, that's the hole that came out, sorry. So let's head back over here and there's our ship, right? So what I'll do is I'll try to be smart now and I'll set this as my destination. And let's see here. I don't want to zoom in that much. I don't want to create a bookmark. What can I do? Let's see here. I can put it into the chat. Oh, come on. Oh, it's using something else from my clipboard here. Let me go back to copy coordinates to clipboard. Now I'm good. Now I can right click that and the destination will be right where I'm standing. Alright, so now I can run around and scan. Get our scanner out. Alright, so you notice there's still more quartz and pyrite and chromite here. So I could run around looking for those and try to go in the right direction. Let's try to go in the wrong direction just to show you that it does get further away. I'm getting closer to the quartz. Oh, no, I'm getting closer to the pyrite. So if I just want the pyrite, okay, I'm going to hit X. And I want to point back down at the planet and get myself back down here because I reached escape velocity in my suit there. Turn X back off, and I'm back on the surface. So, like I said, you can freaking take off from one of these asteroids too easily. They have almost no gravity. Right? So now I'm moving away from the pyrite. Look at that, see? So wait, if I want the pyrite, which way do I need to go? Oh, we'll go back this way. So you see that? It's moving down the scale. And again, this is how the mining used to be everywhere. Alright, so when I get to the point where the pyrite starts to flatten out or move away, shoot, I fell in the hole. When I get to the point where the pyrite starts going that way, then I'll turn at a 90-degree angle and head that way. Okay, well, it says I'm up now, moving away, move back towards it. Moving back towards it. Okay, so if I were to guess, I would need to dig down about right here to get to the pyrite, right? That's the only way I'm going to get to it. So if that's the ore I want, I need to dig down there and get to it. And we know that that's true because this is the hole we dug up from the... Or no, that's not the hole, but it's right here somewhere. That hole we just dug up to get here. So that should conclude this video. I just wanted to show you another way to get ore early on, or even throughout the game, right? You can always go out to the asteroids. They reset every week. Later in the week, there's kind of not as many of them around that haven't already been pilfered. When you're out here mining, ignore the tier 1. You've got plenty of tier 1 back at home. I mean, if you've gotten all the tier 2, 3, 4, 5 that's out there and you're not going to another asteroid and you want to go ahead and load up your ship and bring it home, then fine. If you're in PvE space and you want to do that, yeah, that's not a waste of time. Go ahead and bring that ore back if you want it. And you can always sell it, right? But if you're in PvP space and you're mining tier 1 ore, not that smart, right? If you're going to go out there and waste your risk your time in PvP space, you better risk your time for the tier 5, 4, 3 ores in that order, because you can get 2 on the ground too. So let's face it, you just need to be smart about how you do this. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and I appreciate you guys' time.